So this week, we begin the cycle of Torah reading again. We are in the beginning, Bereshit, Genesis, the very first words of the very first part of Torah. Simchat Torah was a couple of nights ago. We unscrolled the Torah. We read the very end and then the very beginning, right, one after the other, here in a big circle with the Torah unscrolled. And now, this week, we are squarely in the beginning, inside of Bereshit this week. And in our community that does an ancient practice of the triennial reading, which is where you read a third of the Torah each year, so that in 3 years you've read the whole thing. So that means 1 year you're in the beginnings, the next year you're in the middles, and the next year you're in the ends of the Parsha. This year we are in the beginnings. So we have completed a 3-year cycle, so it is the beginning of Torah, in the beginning sections, in the beginning of the new year of 5786. We've got beginnings everywhere, up, down, and all over. And what do these beginnings say? Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. When God began to create heaven and earth, or with beginning, or in beginning, God created, God create, shamayim va'aretz. Here we are, this new beginning. Oh, beginnings. Beginnings are so wonderful and so complicated. Maybe it's just that we as Jews think everything is complicated. But if you think about it, everything really is. But beginnings certainly are. There's different kinds of beginnings. There's the kind that you choose yourself and on purpose. I want this beginning. I'm making this choice to change something, to start something, to end something, to start something. I'm making this choice. It's a light choice, a free choice. Or maybe you've fought really hard, so hard to make the new beginning. And here it is. Amen, there's a new beginning. Oh, you've wanted it. It's here. And yet, even when it's something we want, even when it's full of our desires and our hopes, there's also the fear and the uncertainty, because beginnings always hold fear and uncertainty. So here I am, I want this so much. And yet here there's also fear and uncertainty, and likely also some grief and loss. Because new beginnings are also endings. So if you are in a place of a new beginning that you have chosen, you're excited about, bring it on, I want this. Yes, thank you. That. Full speed ahead, rev your engine, yes. Let's go. Even if you are in that place, hallelujah to that revved engine place, let's go. I want to nudge you, invite you, welcome you to think about also what is ending, what is the loss, what also might need to be grieved in a new beginning. And then there's another kind of beginning, and that is the kind that you did not want or ask for. It happened to you. Oh, really? This job is ending? Oh, really? This relationship is ending? Oh, really? I have to get out of here? Okay. This is not what I wanted. And of course that comes with fear and maybe anger and maybe rage and despair and sorrow. And inside of that, there is also the potential and the possibility that comes with every new beginning. I notice that the cars are not driving right now, because that is not this kind of beginning. This is I didn't ask for full speed ahead. I asked for right here, right what I was doing. Thank you very much. But it is here. It is happening to you. So what does it mean in this kind of beginning to embrace it? To embrace, yes, the despair and the fear and the anger, but also what could this new beginning bring? What are the possibilities and the hopes in a new beginning that I didn't ask for, And yet here it is. I've been thinking about another kind of beginning that we've witnessed, which is a collective beginning that is not shared by everyone in the same way. I've been thinking about this beginning where we have watched as some families have this incredible new chapter, new beginning, joyful reunions. Did anybody see the mother of Matan just grabbing him and saying, Chaim Sheli, Chaim Sheli, Chaim Sheli, my life, life of mine, my life, life of mine, my life. So powerful. But also these words of Chaim, of life, and how she was affirming her son, his life in her arms, his life. Also, you can feel the deep grief and the despair for parents who are not able because the life is not there, it was taken. What must it be to hold a collective beginning or a personal beginning in which some people are having this place of joy and reunion and connection, and some people are, yes, joyful for them, but also feeling the incredible grief of being a parent whose child did not come home, is not going to. In the opening of Torah, we have these words of creation, and then we have the very famous, known story about Adam, the first human, and Chava, and the snake, and the apple, which, come on, it's not an apple, it's like a pomegranate or a fig. Think about where you are. And the being convinced to eat it by the snake, right? And what that leads to. And after that moment, God says to Adam, Ayecha, where are you? Where are you? And Adam replies, I heard the sound of you in the garden and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid. I hid from you. God's response is like, who told you you were naked? Did you eat of that tree? How would you even know that? I'm hiding because I'm naked. Rashi says that, of course, God knows where Adam is. It's the Garden of Eden. But it's a way of beginning a conversation. Where are you? Which I can say as a griever is for me a much more beautiful question than how are you? I find how are you very difficult. I find where are you today, this week, this time, a much better opening of a conversation. Where are you? I'm hiding because I'm naked. I'm overwhelmed by the vulnerability. And then there's shame. I'm hiding because I'm naked. God says, shame, that's not here. Something's wrong. That tips off God. If you're saying I'm hiding, that's not who we are in our wholeness. So what happened? Faced with vulnerability, it makes sense to want to hide. Let's hide from this. Let's crawl away. Let's go underground. Let's, what'd they do, supposedly? Leaves? Makes sense to want to hide in these places. Aviva Zornberg shares, this is this place of physicality, a moment of physical connection and this interaction between Adam, the human. Adam is human, standing in the presence of God, whole and wholly attending. And Adam cannot do it, cannot handle it, cannot stand. A midrash calls out and says, whoa, Adam, can you not stand right here for even an hour? Can't stand here for an hour? Think of your children much later. That's all of us. Once we got all the other rules, much later, they can wait 3 years for a fruit tree to bear fruit. Because that's what we get told later. Wait 3 years. You can't stand right here in the presence for an hour? No. Adam was not able to. It's too much. Too much in the fear and the vulnerability, in the pull and the conflict and the question and the layers of vulnerability. So much to stand in that place. So to see that, to witness that happening, to see people who were able to stand in the vulnerability this week, it's just stunning. Rachel Goldberg, Poland, mother of Hirsch, who was taken captive and then killed, has stood inside of her vulnerability. For 2 years, she has shared from the inside of her own experience and has held with compassion other parents in Israel and in Gaza whose children were killed. I invite you to read her poem, One Tiny Seed, From One Mother to Another. She shared it with the UN in 2023. And just the other night, she shared her reflections on Saturday night in Hostage Square about what it was like to be inside of the vulnerability of so many people having a new beginning that she would never have. Ayeka, where are you? She said, I am right here. She quoted from the book of Kohelet, Ecclesiastes, in the Tanakh, which is read actually during Sukkot, which is when she was speaking, during Sukkot. She shared about this chapter of Ecclesiastes. We're told in chapter 3, there is a season for everything and a time for everything. But now, we are being asked to digest all of these seasons, all of these times at the exact same second. Winter, spring, summer, fall, experience all of that right now. It says there's a time to be born and a time to die, and we have to do both right now. It says there's a time to weep and a time to laugh, and we have to do both right now. It says there's a time to tear and a time to heal, and we have to do both right now. And it says there's a time to sob and there's a time to dance, and we have to do both right now. She continued, How do we hold these paradoxical and yet appropriate sensations at the same time? Please, dear God, she says, God, let us do it with delicate tenderness and holiness towards each other. Let us do it with delicate tenderness and holiness toward each other. Delicate tenderness and holiness towards each other. This is the prayer that I am going to keep close. From the moment I've heard it, it's been on my lips and in my heart as we move through these times, as we witness and support all that is unfolding in the Holy Land and all that is unfolding in Ukraine and Sudan, and all that is pouring into the streets of youth from Nepal to Madagascar. I'm not sure if you are all following this, but it is unbelievable what is happening all over the world. A profound unfolding filled with new beginnings, toppled governments. And yet even we know that with new governments and new agreements, the showing up continues. The complicated layers continue, as we know here in this land with all that is unfolding. Beginnings are never just one layer, delicate tenderness and holiness towards each other. Let us hold that together here in this community. Please, God, delicate tenderness and holiness towards each other in all of our communities, in our city, all around the world, in all the layers of this beginning of a new year. The other night on Simchat Torah here, we marked the layers of the complexity of all this when we began. We lit candles, we acknowledged the suffering and the despair and the loss, and we acknowledged the hope in our personal prayers that we offered to each other. And at the end, we said Kaddish. And in the middle, oh my goodness, friends, I can't even tell you. Maybe you feel it. Maybe you feel it just sitting here, but this room was completely transformed. There was a kind of raucous, like shake the building. Like at one point I was like, the structure is going to hold, right? I mean, we are singing and dancing so hard. And I know it was because of everything that has happened, that there was just this need to elevate the joy. The need to elevate the joy. Knowing that we acknowledged at the front the despair, and we were going to say Kaddish at the end, and inside something like you've never experienced. So uplifting. Simcha, joy, like courage, like ometz lev, faith, emunah, trust, bitachon, all of that is held, friends, collectively held by each other, collectively held in moments. And maybe we're not always able to feel it, but the collective can feel it. Oh boy. To the moon. As Rachel Goldberg Poland told us, we can collectively hold it when we have to hold everything at once. There are moments during it, I see you guys' eyes twinkling who are here because, oh my. And yes, am I partly trying to make you a little bit envious and mark your calendar now for Simchat Torah next year? I am, okay? Because holy cow, if you liked Ne'ilah, come on now. Simchat Torah, and maybe it's an arc, that's what it is, Ne'ilah to Simchat Torah, amazing. And there were moments, I have to be honest, where I had to step out for a second. I had to take a break, I needed a sip of water, I felt overwhelmed by my grief inside of the joy, and yet I could see how it was being collectively held. And that did not, for me in that moment, feel bad. It felt like, yes, you hold the joy right now. I am not able to hold that. You hold the courage right now, and we'll hold it for each other. You hold the faith, and we hold it for each other. If you are in a place to do this right now, please, God, do it. We need you to hold it. I had this memory this week of when my oldest kid turned 2. I was thinking about new beginnings, birthdays, Bereshits, beginnings. And I thought about when he was 2, and we had a cake, and we had the candles, and we were like there, his favorite people, his family, right? We gathered around him, and we sang, happy birthday to you. And we blew out the candles, yay! And then he looked around at us, all of us, with these wide eyes, and he said, again! And I remember my husband Brian and I going like, what is the reason why we do this once? I don't know. We don't have to enforce any kind of that. What? Let's do it again. Lit the candles, brought the cake back out, sang happy birthday to you. Blew the candles out again. I think it's the third time we're like, let's eat the cake. But that feeling of, please, in these moments when we are able, inside of the complexity of the grief and the loss and the despair and the healing and the so much more that needs to unfold, there's so much more we need to do to make it better, to make it lasting, to make it beautiful. Inside of that, let's do it again when we get a moment where we can. In this new year, in our collective and our personal time of new beginnings, may we see and name all of the layers that live inside of them, that live inside of a beginning. If we are able, may we pull out the joy and then do it again, and may we all offer each other delicate tenderness and holiness. Shabbat Shalom.